So I get home from work today and gonna do some trap cleaning. Got a perfect day for it. Yeah, by the way, it's February 7th today and it was 70 degrees. I worked all day, sweat my ass off in a t-shirt. I'm not kidding. It's nuts, this weather. Seriously, look. 64 degrees right now. It was 70 at lunch. Just crazy, crazy weather. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. That's the thing. There's a chance of snow tomorrow. The high tomorrow is 31. High today, I hit like 72. But anyway, I digress. Weird weather. So I got froze out 2 days ago, ironically enough. I was gonna pull traps because we had big rain coming. I ended up pulling a day early because we made a ½ inch of ice overnight. So I pulled traps. So this is what I've got going here. It's something I do every year and I highly recommend you guys do it too. This is what I would consider my after season prep. I've got the dirty truck right there. I've got a trailer full of traps. Like I said, this is normally I would fill this trailer 3 times, but since I didn't run a very big line this year, this is all we've got. And then I've got the dirty side-by-side, and I've got my pressure washer and the canoe. And I'm gonna clean everything up. And I'll try to do it real quick after trapping season gets done because, you know, you're pulling traps, sometimes the mud doesn't get dried and it's a lot easier to get all the mud off. Definitely, you know, before it dries. And number 2 is, if you don't do it right then, you always get other projects started. It seems like you never get it done. And it's kind of important. So what I've got here is I've got this trailer set up with all my traps on it. And you don't have to use a trailer, but the reason I do this is because I'm going to take a pressure washer and I'm going to pressure wash all this, and I'm going to clean all these traps up so they'll be clean so where I can dye them in the fall. And the gaps in the boards there that you can see in the trailer, they're perfect to hold the dog proofs. And really, more than anything, I want to get the mud off the footholds and everything, but I really want to get the dog proofs clean. Because if you're like me and you use a sweet bait, that sugar is real corrosive. So I like to get them all cleaned out, and they fit perfectly in the cracks here. I can just set them all up and wash them out. Now, if you don't have a trailer, or if you don't have a pressure washer and you take it to the car wash, you can also just use a piece of foam board insulation and stick them in. Works great, I've done that. But I like my trailer just because it gets them off the ground. You know, you say, well, why don't you just stick everything in the ground? Well, have you ever pressure washed anything on the ground? It all comes back at you. This doesn't. So I like to get everything cleaned up, get the truck washed off, get the canoe washed out, get the side-by-side all cleaned up. And then after we're gonna go through, after we get everything cleaned up, and we're gonna check all the traps, we're gonna check for trap tags, and then we're gonna bind them up in groups and store them real nice so that in that way come the fall, you know, normally you got a lot more going in the fall, you can get everything out and get going. So this is after season trap prep. So here we go. Gotta love a Honda motor. And air in the hose. Gotta love that too. If you guys don't have a turbo nozzle for your pressure washer, you're really missing out. So there she is. Got everything pressure washed off. Like I said, I'm gonna leave this. See, the sun's going down, so I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna let it dry all day tomorrow. You don't want to mess with these while they're wet. I like to deal with them after they're dry. So we're gonna give them a good day to dry off, and then what we'll do is we'll bundle them up, check them all out, make sure they're good to go, and then you know, store them for the next year. So anyway, got this plane just screwing me up here. But anyway, got 3 pieces of main equipment all cleaned up too. I always like to do that. We got the truck, the canoe, and the side by side. So anyway, that is that. Got everything all nice and put up in t-shirt weather in February. So anyway, while I was watching this, I'd almost forgot about this, but for those of you who can figure out what made this, I'll give you a hint. This was made about 4 years ago, and it was done while I was trapping. There's my hand for comparison. So anyway, if you guys can figure out what made that, you've been around, so take a guess. But anyway, we'll let this dry and we will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so it actually did end up snowing. Not much, you know, maybe an inch or so, but it's like 15 degrees right now. So we had over a 50-degree temperature swing in 24 hours. Just, you know, a little different. But anyway, the dog proofs are filled with, they're filled with snow, and it's cold, and I've been working out in it all day, so I'm not gonna mess with it today. We'll get back with probably Saturday. It's not gonna rain, and it's supposed to be in the 50s again, so that'll be good to work with all this steel. You know, steel's cold, so I'm gonna go through every single one of these. So let that snow melt off tomorrow, and then let them all dry out and everything. So anyway, I just thought it was just crazy. You know, we had had over a 50-degree temperature swing in 24 hours. So anyway, t-shirt yesterday, big coat today. So I actually waited another couple of days. It's back up in the 60s. I'm telling you, this weather's crazy. So anyway, our trap's been sitting out there good and dry. You know, we've pressure washed them off. There's no mud on these anywhere. So basically, what I do now is I've got the just a wire wheel here, and I'm just going to take these traps, and there's a little bit of pan plug that you come out, and I'm just going to take these traps here. I'm going to go through them all. I'm going to sort them out by size. I'm going to check, make sure that there's a night latch on them all. All the pogos, I want to make sure the J hooks are all good, you know, and I want to go ahead and make sure that the trap tags are on there. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to sort all these by size. Just give everything a good looking over. And basically, you know, what this is going to allow me to do is come October, you know, see there's a trap tag that needs to be addressed. So I'll set that one off to the side, and I'll do all this later. I'll just make different piles. And then once I get done, then I'll take my wire wheel here, and basically all I'll do is I'll just bunch up in groups of 5. And you know, I'll make a group of 5 dog proofs, and I'll make a group of 5 1.5s and 5 number 4s, you know. And you know, 5's a good number. You go out into the woods, you go and take 5, and you know, that's a good number to set on any average go. And I can fit 5 traps down in my waxing pot, so it keeps everything nice and compact and easy. And then all I got to do after this is I'm just going to put them in these milk crates, and I've got a couple barrels for the bigger traps, and just keep them under cover, you know, till October, whenever I go to dye them and wax them. And really, it's a big time saver. So you get all this stuff done now, it's really easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll be ready. Now, if you want to, you can dye them right now. You know, if you're one that uses like the logwood dye or speed dip or something else like that. Now me, I use walnuts to dye, so I can't get walnuts right now in February. So this is fine. I've been doing this for years. It's always worked out real good. You can see on some of these traps, you know, it's been worked hard. You actually get a little bit of a surface rust started on them, you know, so that's not a bad thing. As long as you keep them, you know, somewhat out of the weather, that little surface rust will only grab the dye that much better. So anyway, that's that. Cue the time lapse. All right, guys, so anyway, there it is. That is pretty much everything. This is why I was so adamant on having this nice loft here in the new fur shed. I have all of my trapping supplies, dirt, everything but my boards that I haven't taken down yet, and I'll have room for those over to the right once I get rid of all the other tools. But anyway, that is everything that's up in that loft, skinning machine and everything. So that'll stay nice and dry, you know, good with the humidity and everything else being in this shed. So anyway, that's about it really. You know, that's pretty much all I do there, you know, after the trapping season. I get a lot of questions about it, and there's really not much to it, but thought I'd make a short video about it and let you guys know what I do. And then, like I said, with having the traps all bundled up and everything, you know, the way they are, now come the fall, all I'll have to do is just pull them out and throw them in the dye pot and wax them, and then I'll be ready to go. So anyway, that's what I got going. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.